Hi, we're going to do another really fun exercise, and we're going to use a technique called masking. We're going to layer masking is really what we're going to be doing. And a lot of times when you're creating a project, you have a background that you want to actually mask through the type and kind of I guess marry those two together a little bit and to get a special effect. And so what we're going to do is I've got three different documents here that all kind of put together. Basically, you can kind of see that we're working with some text called sunset. So maybe there's an event that we're going to call sunset bonfire. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of different practice files here. And what I'm going to do is pull them down so you can kind of get an idea of what they all are. If I pull this one over, you'll see that the next one I have here is a beautiful beach scene right as the tide's coming in. And then as I pull the sunset, let's see where I've got sunset here. I can pull sunset out. So I've got all three of them kind of floating here in my workspace. It's basically, if you look at it pretty close, you're going to see that it's the same image as your original sunset. It's just that the developers have put an orange screen over the top. Basically, we've done that in other exercises, and then they've used kind of the gradient there to put in a yellow sunset and have manipulated it a little bit. So they've added a sunset into these two. So what I think I want to do is I'm going to start with this sunset. I'm going to call it sunset 1. Whoops, I have to be careful there. They want to all jump together, don't they? And I'm going to pull in the sunset 2 file, and I'm going to take it and make it a little smaller here. How about that? There we go. So that I can see it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it over. I'm going to drop it into, make sure that I'm using my move tool here, drop it into the sunset there. And then as soon as I have that, I'm done with that file, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it. You notice where it is sitting. I can kind of see that it's in my original. Here's my text. I've got 2 rows of text, the sunset headline, and then I've also got the bonfire tonight. And so what we're going to do is I want to pull that, I want to look for my third picture. There it is. And I'm going to pull these together. This is going to become my background for this project. Let's call it a postcard or whatever, but it's my project. And so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull it in so that it's also in, and everything fits fairly nicely into that size. And this looks like it's about a 4x3, so it could actually be a nice postcard. And so now that I've got everything put together, I have my layers here, and I want my sunset. In order to have that work, I'm going to have to move that layer up, because the concept in masking type is you want the object that you're going to want to push through the type to actually be on top of it. So what I need to do is take that layer, and I'm going to run it up over the top, and you'll notice that bonfire tonight, which are the details, okay, that layer is above my sunset layer, so obviously that shows. But it's my headline that I really want to create that masking effect. And in Photoshop, for layering when you're working with masks, it's really very simple. Once you've got the object that, or the image that you want to mask through this text, into this text, you basically just need to put your mouse, and you'll notice that I have a little hand over there, right there, in between the text that you want to use and the image, and then hold down your Alt key on your keyboard, and you'll notice that the hand turns into, I always say it looks like a little teapot, but technically when you look at it, it really is the masking symbol. It's 2 circles on top of each other with a part in the middle that both of them share. So anyway, I'm holding down my Alt key, and I click, and what it does is it pulls through the image that's in the back. So if you look at the layer, you'll see that you've got a little arrow pointing down. That means that it is tied together and it's masked. The really cool thing is that if I put my mouse on that layer, and so I've selected it, is I can move this image around so that I can make sure it is as correct. If you look at the image, you'll see that it matches, so that my horizon there matches the same thing. So now I've just married these two together and basically completed my project. So pretty easily, without having to do any cutting or pasting. I just had created my headline in text, and then obviously Bonfire Tonight is a separate layer of text, and it's on top, so that's why these two didn't mask through together. And then I've got my background. And really and truly, that's all there is to doing the layer mask. So you just want to make sure that you've married between the two of these two. You've held down your Alt key. And now if you hold down the Alt key, you'll notice that you've got a dark circle at the top and a checkerboard type circle at the bottom. And that basically is showing you that these two are masked. If I right click, I can release the clipping mask, and it goes back to the way it was. So to undo what I just did, I just basically have to right click on it. Now I'm going to redo it again so that you can see that all I had to do now is hold down the Alt key and click, and it brings that image through. I think that's a really neat technique, and a pretty simple one at that. Anyway, that's all for that. See you next time.